WTWO's Beyond the Stands podcast is brought to you by Crow Equipment, Andrews Heating and Air Conditioning, Snap Home Media LLC, Sycamore Insurance Associates. Here's your host, Rick Semmler.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Beyond the Stands. Of course, I'm your host, Rick Semmler. We're about 3 weeks into the college football season, and one of the teams that's making a lot of noise this year is your Indiana State Sycamores, 2-0. And one of the guys that is helping ISU lead the way is former Northview grad Braxton Sampson, and he is joining me in studio. Braxton, nice to have you here in the studio.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I'm excited.
And you just mentioned you just came from practice midweek. How's everything going as you guys get set to take on IU?
It's going awesome. You know, I mean, us as the team, we know that we got to try and treat this game like any other game. But, I mean, it's hard to not think about how many fans are going to be there, the people that we're going to be playing. I mean, it's just so exciting. We're pumped.
And we'll get to more of the IU stuff in a second, but we got to talk about the way the season has started. You guys are 2-0 for the first time since 1986. Now, the player on the team was alive, the last time Indiana State started 2-0. I know it's early, but to be 2-0 for the first time, in 39 years, what does that mean?
I mean, yeah, starting off like this, obviously I've never done it before. Not a lot of teams have at Indiana State, and you walk around the locker room, it feels different. We're just really excited to see where the season takes us. I mean, we're aiming for the moon. I mean, there's nothing really that none of the guys in there are like, well, let's just try to go 500 or let's just try to have a winning season. Like we want it all this year, so excited about it.
You speak of that. You've never experienced, the 2-0 start. Your third year in the program. Like you've had some rough times. Let's just say that. Like you guys work hard, but you've had some rough times. I mean, how rewarding is it? You put the time in like every other program. You put the work in to get the wins. How satisfying is that?
I mean, it's so satisfying. We picked up some new pieces coming into this fall, and I mean they fit perfectly. And the guys that are here, they want to be here. So it's really awesome getting to see this team succeed for like the players that have been here, the players that we picked up, and like the coaching staff just being awesome.
As I mentioned, you're 2-0. You beat McKendree in your opener, 41-24. Then last Saturday, beat Eastern Illinois, 38-14. Teams always say, we got to do this better or we got to do that better. But overall, how would you assess the first two games for this team?
The first game, I mean, we went into it thinking that I think we might have been a little overly confident, and that's fine. Going into the first game, we had to get the jitters out, and we really bunkered down in that second half and got the job done. But going into the second game, I just felt like the jitters were out. Stuff was working smoothly, and I mean, we didn't let them score in the first half, and we went at halftime saying like we got to do this better. So that's what I love about Coach Ellison, our new DC, is that like there's always stuff to improve, and we're just going to keep improving and hopefully just see the season out with a lot of wins.
And Braxton's a starting linebacker for the Sycamores, giving up 24 points the first game, 14 points the second game. Like you said, shut out at halftime in the second game. How would you assess the way the defense has played through the first two games this season?
I mean, our mindset is just play the next play, be in the moment, and just, play together. I mean, if we're not communicating, we can't know if we're on the same page or not. So that's the biggest thing that we're pushing for, just communication, playing in the moment, playing the next play. Just the stuff that happens is the stuff that happens. We just got to keep moving.
Now I got to talk about you personally. You played linebacker for ISU. Each year at the school, you're a junior, you've played a little bit more, and this year they're really relying on you. You're starting, playing a lot. Second on the team in tackles with 16. You got 3 tackles for a loss, 1 sack. How exciting is it to not only be starting for your college football team, the Sycamores, but contributing for them?
I mean, this is a dream. I grew up a half hour from there, and my family gets to come to all the games. My friends, everybody gets to come to the games, and it's just so awesome getting to perform in front of them for what feels like the first time. I played the past 2 years on special teams and played a lot on defense, but this year just feels really special.
You speak of that, the support you get. I love when I get on Facebook on like Saturday evenings, and the amount of people, especially from Northview, that post, went to the ISU game today to watch Braxton. You have a lot of support. How does that make you feel? I mean, you're 3 years removed from being at Northview, but you still have a big following from Northview. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it means everything. A lot of the reason why I just love doing what I do is just all the support that I get back home. Just seeing people in the town, just being like proud of where they're from, and I'm so proud of where I'm from. It's just really awesome to have that conversation on like just a random person walking down the street.
And I know a lot of little kids look up to you. How much do you try to be a role model to them that, if they work hard, they can play, whether it's college football or college athletics in general?
Absolutely. I mean, I know I get looked at a lot in like a kid's eyes, and there was guys above me that I looked at like that the same way. So it's just really awesome getting to be in that position where kids can look up to me, and I know that I have to set that standard and be the role model that kids can look up to, and parents are proud to say that their kids look up to.
I want to thank our sponsors of the show, Crow Equipment Incorporated, Snap Home Media LLC, Sycamore Insurance Associates, and Andrews Heating and Air Conditioning, your 2018 American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, building a higher standard award winner for quality and reliability you can depend on. Call Andrews Heating and Air Conditioning, 765-832-9401. So we were talking about your starting, your 16 tackles, your tackles for a loss. How would you assess the way you're playing your position this year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm making a lot of plays, but there's also a lot of things that need to get fixed. Just another thing Coach Elson says is do simple better. There's footwork that needs to be fixed. There's playing slower. Sometimes I jump the gun a little bit and, want to get contact and get downhill. And, you just got to slow down and really just let the game come to you. And that's just something I'm working on.
Explain to people at home, everybody wants to play college athletics and they want to play at the highest level. You're playing Division I college football. I remember covering you at Northview. You were a stud. You were a pretty good offensive player, but you're playing defense, in college, and you were a great defensive player at Northview. But the jump from high school to college, just explain, to parents and kids, what that is like, to be able to play in college and how much you have to be prepared for that jump.
I mean, yeah, I feel like at any level, it's D1, D2, D3. I don't think the jump is still the exact same. I mean, you're going from the oldest, the biggest, the strongest to, back to square one, and that's kind of a hard thing to do. Once you get at the top, it's hard to fall back down at the bottom of the totem pole, and you just got to kind of put your head down and go to work and put yourself around the right people, right teammates that are just going to help push you to get to that point.
Now, I mentioned you guys are 2-0. You got a big game Friday night, taking on 2-0. And nationally ranked, 19th ranked IU. First of all, you hear that. Both teams 2-0. One team's nationally ranked, playing at third place where it's going to be a huge crowd. You got a smile on your face. How special is that for you?
I mean, yeah, this is exactly what I signed up to do. Getting to go to this big, huge stadium and crowd full of people, and there's going to be that little sea of blue that you see up in the corner, and those are the only people rooting for you, and the rest of it's just you versus everybody else in the stadium. And that's so exciting just to be able to be out there with your teammates and be in that moment, coming out of the tunnel, hearing the boos. Like I enjoy all of it. You
speak of that, the little crowd that you'll have there in the corner, because it will be a sea of red, especially with IU winning right now. You'll be the underdog. Do you kind of relish that in this moment that people are giving you no chance?
Yeah, people say it a lot, but like the underdog has nothing to lose, and that's the scenario we're in right now. We're gonna go in there, and we hope we do get, I guess, undervalued or overlooked, because that's exactly what we want to be. The guys in our room and the guys in the locker room know exactly who we are and what we want to do. So, we're just excited to go out there.
And if you don't know, Indiana State playing at IU, it's one of those money games. The Sycamores will be getting $475,000 for this game. So there is a reason they also play. It's a big payday, important to the Indiana State athletic budget to play this game. Now, ISU 0-7 all-time versus IU, and they've never beat a Big Ten team, 0-20. What do you think it would mean for the Sycamores to go in there and pick up their first win ever over a Big Ten opponent?
You said it. This first time ever, and that's one of our words that we got put up in the locker room was just legacy, and we want to leave a legacy. We want to be a team that's remembered for just like doing all the little things right and winning the games that we weren't supposed to win. So this is the first step to doing that.
Is it kind of cool you play these bigger games, but IU? They haven't always been known for football until recently. They got to play in the college football playoffs last year. Is it cool to get to play against a team that was in the college football playoffs last year?
Yeah, it's definitely awesome, and they getting to go there and play those people that you saw on TV last year and those huge games, and now we're going to be sharing a field with them and hopefully giving it to them, and competing. So that's going to be so awesome.
For a player, a lot of times, there's the FCS, FBS level football. But is this a chance for you and guys on the Sycamores to go out there and show, hey, you may be at IU and in the Big Ten, but you know what, we can play with you guys as well. Is this a chance to, go out there and pound your chest a little bit and say, we belong on the field with you guys?
Yeah, there's definitely a chip on our shoulder going into the game of, a lot of us are from Indiana here and, didn't get recruited by Indiana, and that's fine. We're not beat up about it. We're just excited to go out there and give them our best.
Now, interesting matchup. The defense for the Sycamores has played well. You're going against an IU team, that offense that can score a lot of points. They got a quarterback that it's crazy. A lot of people are mentioning might be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft next year, maybe the top pick I've seen from some people, Fernando Mendoza. I know you've watched film on him. How good is this kid?
I mean, he definitely looks good on film, and, we're going to treat him like that. We plan on they also run the ball really well. So, what they can't get done in the air, they're going to try to get done on the ground, and we're just going to do our best at stopping them and making all the right plays. I mean, Indiana's not a team that you're going to be able to beat if you don't do all the little things right too. You have to make that play, get that fourth down stop, get that interception. I mean, you can't miss plays that when they come up.
You speak of that, and you gave a little bit there. What do you think are a couple keys for the ISU defense to try and slow down that Hoosiers offense?
Yeah, I mean, they run the ball really well. Obviously, first thing you got to do is establish that you're not going to let them run the ball over us. And then once they start throwing it, you got to stop them from doing that. And, we're not oblivious to the fact that they're going to make a big play. They're explosive, and we know that's going to happen at some point. It's just going to be picking back up the rifle and just getting right back to it after something bad happens.
Knowing Coach Mallory as long as I have, obviously a big deal is made about playing IU. But after that, you guys still have 9 games to go on the schedule. How much is it? Yeah, get pumped up for the game like you should every game. But the most important part is, the conference season still to play for you guys. Right. How much has that been drilled into you guys a little bit?
Honestly, not as much as you would think. I mean, Coach Mallory's big on just play this week, and then we'll handle next week when it comes. And we're going to go in, we're going to beat Indiana, and then we'll handle Montana next week and what comes next after that. But right now, I mean, it's just one step at a time.
Now, I got to ask, you guys have a Friday night game, ISU at IU, Friday night, 6:30 on the Big Ten Network. I'll be honest, I don't like college football games on Friday nights. That's high school football.
High school.
Coach Mallory has expressed his, I don't want to say hatred, but dislike for it. A lot of people do. What do you think of the college games on Friday nights?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think Fridays are meant for high school football, Friday Night Lights. But, I mean, they gave us that time and place, and that's when we're going to play them, and that's what it is. But I definitely think football is made for any other day but Friday. I'm fine with the Monday night, but Friday's got to stay to high school.
I get that. And we got to talk about high school. As I mentioned, you're a Northview grad, and you had a heck of a career, and your Knights haven't missed a beat since you've left.
No.
All they do is win. I don't know how much you get to check them out as busy as you are, but I know they're unbeaten again and rolling. What do you think of this year's Northview team?
I think it starts with Colton Bath. I mean, he's a great athlete, great quarterback, great leader, and there's people like Cale Allen and Avery Perry that came all the way up through the youth league that I got to watch play when they were just little kids, and now just seeing them perform at the varsity level in high school is just super awesome. What
does it say? I feel like players come and go, and great players come and go at Northview, but the one consistent is head coach Mark Rates. I don't want to say he doesn't get the respect he deserves, but he's an incredible coach.
He is.
Just talk about the coach he is and how much you enjoyed playing for him.
I really loved playing for Coach Rates and Old Man Rates as well, his dad.
Yes.
They're just amazing people, and his focus wasn't only just to coach as football players, but also just like becoming men off the field too, and that was just such a big part of me growing as a high school kid, and didn't know nothing, but yeah, Coach Rates is just, I love him and his family, and they're just really great people.
Okay, before I let you go here, we talked about a little bit at the beginning. You talked about being 2-0 and leaving your legacy and this and that. So moving forward to the season, even after the IU game, what are your goals this season for the Indiana State football team?
We want to. Our mission statement is win a Missouri Valley Conference championship and walk across the stage with a diploma. And first thing, you got to win that championship. We want that ring, so that's exactly what we're going to be going for.
People will think you're crazy because, it's hard for ISU to do that. They haven't, done that.
I understand that.
How much do you guys, who cares what the outside criticism is, and know the challenge. We're going after that, and we think we can do that.
Yeah, I mean, we hear the talk outside, and we know that people probably think we're delusional for saying that, and that's fine. I talk about the locker room a lot, and the only opinions that matter to us are the guys in the locker room. We're the guys that are going to strap up and play on them Saturday afternoons, and I mean that's the only thing that matters is the guys that are inside the white lines.
Well, Braxton, I appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your schedule from football practice, games, studying. You're off to a great season. I know many in the Wabash Valley, including Northview. I'm very proud of what you're doing. Keep up the good work, and best of luck Friday night at IU.
Thank you.
That is Braxton Sampson, Indiana State linebacker, Northview grad. He's tied for second on the team in tackles with 16 this year for the Sycamores. Remember, you can always follow Beyond the Stands on Spotify, CastBox, Pocket Cast, iHeartRadio, and on WTWO's MyWabashValley.com. That does it for this edition of Beyond the Stands.
WTWO's Beyond the Stands podcast is brought to you by Crow Equipment, Andrews Heating and Air Conditioning, Snap Home Media LLC, Sycamore Insurance Associates. Catch this episode again and more of Rick's interviews online at MyWabashValley.com.